This is Michael Passmore, Senior Minister of Central Christian Church in downtown San Antonio. It's early in the morning on Wednesday, and I've come into the office for this video. It is the Advent season, and yet I keep finding myself pulled to the significance of the ministry of Jesus, not just his birth. In the television series Roots, Alex Haley's book put to film, there is a vivid scene after our hero of the story, Kunta Kinte, had been brought to America in the holds of a slave ship and now owned, purchased. The slave traders were trying to break the slaves in such a way as to give them a new name that would be their slave name, far distant from an African homeland. So they have tied Kunta Kinte to a tree, and with whips they are attempting to beat him into a new submissive property, a submissive identity. Your name is Toby, they say. The young Kunta Kinte resists, and the whips fall. Your name is Toby. More resistance, and the whips fall again and again and again. Finally, the punishment is too much for Kunta Kinte, too severe. And the young man hangs his head in defeat, and when they ask him his name, he says, Toby. I have heard more than one black minister tell me about how enraged they were in watching this soulful rendition of American slavery, that they became angry. I know of a guy that Tom Long talked about that admitted that for a moment he was consumed with such hatred, not only for those who were beating Kunta Kinte, but for somehow all white people, for all who the whip of racism would be used to bring humiliation and shame to other people in the future. The only thing this African-American minister would say that kept this hatred from settling into his heart was the deep awareness of his faith in another man, a man who was also hung on a tree and beaten. They took this man's life, he said, but they never took his name. And one day, every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess on earth and above the earth and below the earth that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God. A name change. Jesus only accumulated more, never losing one. He was Jesus, Messiah, mighty counselor, everlasting Lord. This Christmas season, the reason for the season, the significance is not just that he was born in a humble place and time, but that he is, even to this very moment, the pinnacle of God's loving history for us. Thank you for letting me share with you today.